This also goes for every Trinbagonian who want to live in a foreign land. Now is the time to come home and do something instead of staying out there and freezing. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us go hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Come, my brother, come, my sister, let us build a nation together. And that is the message this song is sending out there. Come, my brother, come, my sister, let us build Grenada together. We could do it. We have it in us. We have capable men and women who can lead that charge, and they're doing just that. Let us join together and build our country. I want to welcome you to this particular segment in the program where I will speak, laying the foundation for meaningful engagement. I want to encourage those on Facebook and on YouTube to please share the live, so as many people as possible will get the opportunity to be a part of the conversation. I want to start off by extending my deepest condolences to the family and friends of the late Odette Campbell. She passed away this morning in New York. I got the message pretty early this morning from two sources, right? Very, very early this morning. Sometime I think about 3, somewhere thereabout. Very, very early. I think it was about, let me see. It was about 3 o'clock somewhere. Well, very, very early. Let me see. All right. So about 1:25. So just a little after 1, I got that message from two sources, right? So again, I want to thank those who send the message to me, and I realized that the message went wrong, and I want to extend my deepest condolences to the family and friends of Odette Campbell. And for those who don't know her, she was the manager of the Grenada Broadcasting Network. She was a seasoned journalist. I mean, everybody knew Odette Campbell. She has been in that whole arena for a very, very long time, interviewing a lot of people, uh, reading the news, producing. I mean, she was in everything, journalism. And again, the whole, Grenada Media Workers Association and the reporters, journalists, the folks in the media, they have, they have lost a significant, part of that entity with Odette Campbell passing, right? That strong pillar within the media. We have lost that pillar. And look, it's tough for GBN, the staff there, and tough for nearly everybody. But what I do know about Odette is that she was a woman of God. She gave her life to the Lord, and she was very firm where that is concerned. So we can rest assured that she's in the hands of God, the Almighty. All right? I believe that. So again, I want to extend my deepest condolences to her family and her friends. All right? Folks, yesterday we saw we saw uh, the workers of the nation celebrating in a big way. May Day in Grenville. They marched from the bus terminus onto Progress Park. And I can tell you, it was a wonderful, wonderful show of solidarity. It was a good environment, a good atmosphere. It was not like the past. And I want to be very honest with you. It was not like the past where you had this militancy, where you had people, the workers being extremely angry with the government of Grenada. Because normally it would be a situation where they're angry with the employer for so many things. Thankfully, the NDC came into power and gave a lot to the working people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. And it was really good to see a lot of workers with their placards actually expressing thanks and appreciation and highlighting the gains under the NDC because they know what they came out under the NNP and what they experienced under the NNP. So they really expressed that yesterday. And look, I stated here very boldly, I know the NDC administration still has a number of things to accomplish for workers, to make sure that the workers are even more comfortable. I told you about contract work, right? Temporary workers and making them permanent, regularizing teachers, nurses, and public servants, right? We hope to see some movements where that is concerned sometime this year. Everything cannot be done overnight, but at least you can take the NDC at its word, right? So again, just 1 minute, folks. Just 1 minute. Let me just do something here. Gila, close the door for me. Right. All right. So again, just saying we can take the NDC at its word. When they say they're going to do something, they will do it. And they have demonstrated that time and time again. So we look forward. And look, I heard the workers. I observe certain things because I was there. I went there for that reason. And there is a need to have that done soonest, at least start the process with the teachers and the nurses. Regularize the teachers and regularize the nurses. And those, in other words, those who are acting and those who are temporary, they need to be made permanent so that they can have security of tenure, so that they can go to the bank, so they can go to the credit union, right? So I hear you, and I will advocate for that because I believe that must be done. I know the government intends to do so within short order, so we look forward to that happening. But by and large, the workers were extremely happy, and they put that on display. They showed that, and that's a good way to build a relationship. They were not antagonistic. They were not angry with the government. They acknowledged some of the gains. They highlighted pension and gratuity. They highlighted the dock salaries being paid. They highlighted the TAMCC workers being paid. They highlighted minimum wage adjustment being looked at now. They highlighted a number of things, which was really, really great. And I want to commend them for that because I believe it's the way to go, right? That's the way to go. If you ask me, that's the way to go. All right. The workers have been very, very honest. They have been very sincere. They have been very real with the government. And it's now time for the government to continue improving the lives of, of the working man and working woman. Continue on that path because I think that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Kudos, thumbs up. I love it. I really, really love it. So again, saying to you, the viewers and the listeners, I went to the rally. I went on the streets to observe certain things. I can tell you the workers generally, they were extremely happy, right? And look, I know a lot of those NNP supporters, and they are a part of the working people of Grenada. And I saw a number of them still showcasing the bitterness and the anger. And it's not surprising. A lot of those NNP supporters who are working, they put on display their bitterness. And the placards really reflected who they are, right? I'm very, very observant. The majority of NNP supporters who were there, their placards demonstrated certain things. In fact, Tau, right, G-Tau, it seems as though these placards were done by one person or one group. The stencil, the writing, the printout, it was pretty much what they give them to carry, in my belief. So it was not really something that came from the bowel of the workers, from what I have observed. But instead, one person, I don't know if Chester Humphrey had anything to do with it, or just Andre Lewis, or just a group of them, I don't know. But when you observe the writings, the printout, it comes across as a kind of communist way of operating. But I'm not surprised. I observe that it's pretty much same printout, same. I don't know if they asked them to send in stuff and then they print it. I don't know. But it came across, pretty much as though it was either orchestrated or I'm lost for words. But I can tell you, by and large, the workers were jubilant. They enjoy themselves. The placards bring out a number of things. And I think the government will listen to the workers. In fact, that's the first time I have seen so many ministers of government at a May Day rally. I saw the Honorable Gloria Thomas, the Honorable David Andrews, the Honorable Adrian Persuada Thomas, the Honorable Dennis Cornwall, the Honorable Prime Minister, right? The Honorable Deacon Mitchell, he was there. The Honorable Claudette Joseph was there. Who am I missing out? Did I see another person, another minister of government? Right. The Honorable Jonathan Lacrette was also there. I know the Honorable Ron Redhead is out of state, so he wouldn't be there. Who else? I didn't see. One or two of them I didn't see, but by and large, right. I also saw my good friend Tessa Sincere there. So quite a number of the ministers were actually there, listening, taking note, and that is important, very, very important, that you have those ministers there listening to what those workers were actually saying and displaying and so on. That was really, really good. And I want to applaud that. I really, really want to applaud that. And I hope to see some movements when it comes to regularizing the nurses and regularizing the teachers to start off with. And those who are acting, acting principles, acting this and acting that within the nursing and teaching arena, we hope that, or or fraternity or whatever you want to call it. You know, I hope something could happen there because that was really the cry to make contract workers permanent, those who meet the criteria, those who could actually do the job. You can't just make everybody permanent because they're in contract, because you might have square pegs stealing the wrong hole. And the cry for the regularization of nurses and teachers, you know, workers generally, that was really what came out there. But the star of the moment was Jude Bartholomew, right? Jude Bartholomew, he was really the star of the moment. And look, I tell you this because I was there and the workers really received him well and he was fair. He was fair to give the government commendation or congratulated the government on a number of things, but he also highlighted some of the things that the workers want to see happen. And that is important. So let me just give you a little taste of what he had to say. Well, you know by now, Brian Grimes got booed by the workers. So I don't have to repeat that for you. By now, you know Brian Grimes, when he started speaking, the workers were like, Geo, go, Geo, go. And they started booing him. You know, normally it would be the Minister of Labor getting booed. That was not the case. Historically, the Minister of Labor will be booed or, you know, jeered at or that kind of thing. But this time wrong, it was one of their own. They were actually booing. And it speaks volumes, if you ask me.
For education, we now move now. The duty calls for regular.
All right, I'll play the one after that piece after. So let me play the first piece where he spoke there, because I think you need to get the first piece. I hope the audio is up to mark. All right, I hope the audio, because it's a good friend, Dwayne Thomas. Thank you for sending that to me. All right, because most most media outfits, they would highlight that in the news later. But he sent that for me yesterday while I was up there.
And sell out. I hear Sheldon Scott and NNP talking about teachers sell out and duty president sell out. This duty president will never sell out or shortchange teachers. And they know that. Duty wasn't negotiating. Duty was never on the negotiating table representing Sheldon Scott and NNP or any other organization. We are an independent trade union organization, and our members gave us the mandate to negotiate on our own. The duty will answer to no one but our members who gave us the mandate to accept the 13% salary increase. What is wrong with Sheldon Scott and NNP? Years before the 2023 negotiation cycle began, police and prison officers signed for 4% for 2023, and we never knew anything about it. NNP is the real sellout.
Yeah, and folks, that's a very good point Jude Bartholomew is making there. Police and prison actually signed for 4% for 2023 under the NNP. And the majority of the unions were not aware of that. It was a kind of secret deal because, you know, historically you would hear people say, well, the police and prison, therefore NNP. You know, that was the talk historically. When you talk about police and prison, you always say, well, they're for NNP. So they went ahead and signed secretly for 4% for police and prison under the NNP for 2023. So you have the teachers who agreed to 4% for 2023, 4% for 2024, and 5% for 2025. All right? Which is significant in the scheme of things. I mean, and you would hear Jude Bartholomew speaking about that, but he's honest, he's sincere with his members, right? So you have the other unions now negotiating with police and negotiating with well, together with prison, so you have TAU, you have Public Workers Union, you have a couple of them, about 5 or 6 of them. They're all negotiating together. And they're calling for about 15 point something percent, 15.5, I think, percent they want. They want 15.5%. They know that they're not going to get that, right? But it's hypocritical of them to not acknowledge that police and prison already negotiated for that 4% for 2023, and they're a part of their team. So the police and prison, they're only negotiating for 2024 and 2025 because they already got 4% for 2023. It's amazing. So let us listen to Jude Bartholomew, folks.
And tell Sheldon Scott for me, he sold out Grenada under NNP. Yes, with the high cost of living, teachers would have liked 15, 20, 25% salary increase. But with all things equal, the NDC administration, they paid pension, retroactive payment 75 million. They paid back the dock salary, paid TAMCC workers 22% salary increase, 11 million in retroactive payment, 13% in salary increase for teachers, fringe benefits of monetary value that will make the salary increase come up to more than 13%. So in all things equal, when we talk about it, that's the reason why we accepted the 13%. Regularization to come in June, upgrades to come soon.
Point there again is significant. So the regularization will commence, he's saying, sometime in June for teachers, those temporary teachers who have been clamoring for that to be solved, the regularization and upgrades and so on. That would start off in June, which is really great. And he also highlighted why they agreed to the 13% over a 3-year period. He outlined the benefits that they have received. And look, this guy is real. He's honest with his members, and he will go down in history as one of the best presidents of the Grenada Union of Teachers. And he's not playing politics. He's fighting for the workers. And look, if you have a friendly government, your fight will be easier. And that is exactly what he's saying. He's saying, look, our fight under the NNP was tough. But under this administration, it is way more, it's easier. It's way easier than before. We have in Grenada a government who believes in workers and who continues to do good things for the working man of this country.
We must take that into consideration, and that is why the GUT acted reasonable and accepted 13% salary increases for 2023 to 2025. All those who don't like it, put it in the pipe and smoke it.
I applaud him for that, and I want to say that I think it would be wise if the Public Workers Union go into negotiation accepting the 13%, but negotiating for the regularization of the nurses, because they cover the nurses, and the other staff members, their benefits, fringe benefits, what they looking forward to, right? That would be wiser, because you have a lot of temporary workers under the public service. The Public Service Workers Union, they represent them. So if they go in there and negotiate for that to commence, to start, it would be a phased process, but at least start with the nurses, regularize them, and make it retroactive. So those who have been in the work, let's say 10 years now, 15 years, because you have some of those nurses and workers in the health sector who have been working for 12, 13, 14, 15 years, and they're still temporary. Let it go back to a situation where everything is considered. So all the years that they made, let's say they worked already for the 15 years, that should be a part of the process if you ask me, right? That should be a part of the process if you ask me. And look, that is just my little take on this. That is just my little take on this. So I hope and pray that that will be considered. You go into the negotiation, that's the Public Workers Union, with that in mind. So the workers now, their 15 years will not go in vain. So they would not get a letter which says that you are now permanent and it starts from now, because the government could actually do that. But the government, you must go in there negotiating, and maybe I'm giving you a little clue, a little assistance. Go in there negotiating for your workers, the nurses, the public officers who have been temporary, right, for the amount of years, and let that letter say or speaks to the time they start. So they become permanent retroactively from the time they start to work. That's when they become permanent. And then negotiate for compensation. So all the increases, all the benefits that were given to all the other workers within those many years, they too should get that. So you're going there negotiating for that. So accept the 13%, right, increase over the 3-year period, but also negotiate for those fringe benefits and for the regularization of your workers. That would be a win for the Public Workers Union and the other unions. The police now, you go in there, you should negotiate for the upgrades, because remember, you are not at that place where you should be. From 1996, I think you have never gotten the right kind of payment and review and upgrade and so on. So when you go into negotiation, you cannot go with a political agenda, because you will never achieve anything. And I am giving you a little assistance here. Go in there and negotiate, accept the 15%, accept that, but negotiate for fringe benefits, the regularization of your workers and all the different things. That is what you need to do. And you'll get more out of that. But when you go in there and you're playing politics and all this old stupidness, what do you expect would happen? What do you expect would happen? Right? So you're dragging the thing on, and then you're in problems. Let us continue to listen to Jude Bartholomew.
If NDC didn't do any of the above, it might have been a different story, and teachers would have marched the streets in the same manner that what we did under the NNP administration. GUT is no respect of any political party, and we will stand up to NNP and NDC equally where there is a need to. Hold on, I'm warming up, I'm getting hot. That's how much NNP and the previous Minister of Education hated teachers. The premier training institution of Teachers College, NNP administration had teachers going to school first and running down to Teachers College in the afternoon, while Imani workers were going full-time and with pay under the previous administration. For the transformation of education in Grenada, Karikupiti Matnik, the NDC administration and the Minister for Education restored Teachers College to full-time studies. Come on, give them a round of applause. We are very grateful. Teachers are hoping and praying that it will start this year. Teachers want to be trained. Primary, secondary, tertiary, preschool, technical and vocational. Every day you meet teachers who want to go to Teachers College. So we appeal to the Minister of Education not to wait next year to put it back to full-time. Put it back full-time, because teachers are ready to go and ready to train.
And folks, again, that is the level of sincerity coming from Jude. And I say to people, if you have a friendly government in power, the NDC is a government for the working man and woman, meaning they are pro-worker, they are friendly to the workers of the country. So why then would you be antagonistic? Why then would you be angry and bitter and holding off with your negotiation to get the increases and so on for your workers? I don't understand why Brian Grimes or Andrew Lewis or the police or the prison or what's the other unions? You have another one or two smaller unions there. Why they're holding off? It just does not make sense, because you have a friendly government in power, and that is why they're getting booed. You see, Brian Grimes got booed yesterday at that rally. Booed. The workers booed him. It says something. I hope it's a wake-up call for him. This is no joke, because the workers recognize that the NDC is a party and a government who love the workers of the country and who is doing everything that they can for the workers of the country. Everything cannot be done overnight, because they just come 9 months, 10 months, right? 10 months on. Come on. But they understand fully well that this government is way better than the previous government. All right? So, look, Jude is correct.
While the duty praise the NDC administration for all the good things that they have done for teachers and workers, we express our disappointment with the Ministry of Education. Like NDC won the election, but like NNP run things in the Ministry of Education. I just start to get hot. Teachers are not feeling the transformation in education. Do something, Honorable Deacon Mitchell. Do something, Minister for Education. We now move now. The duty calls for regularization with compensation. Regularize our members. The regularization of teachers, nurses, and public officers. They are permanently temporary for too long.
And that is why I am saying to you, this guy is balanced. So he gave credit where credit is due. He spoke well on the achievements, the gains, but he's also highlighting some of the things that the NDC needs to fix and sort out. And he made a very salient point. NDC won the election, but when you look at certain things that are happening in those ministries, Ministry of Education and the others, it is like they're still running the show. In the police force, you're seeing the same thing. We kind of feeling a little, a little ease, seeing a little difference there, a little, right? But we need to see something more drastic happen. A lot of officers are still waiting for promotion and so on. The police force, now you go into a police station, for example. You go into a police station and the officer who is senior is a private constable. So the officer in charge of the central police station during the nighttime or on weekend or a certain time, it's a constable, a private constable, a senior constable, not even a corporal, not even a sergeant, not even an inspector, not even an ASP, which is really, really sad. So you need to see promotion of more senior, right? You need to see promotion of officers, and you need seniority in those stations. So you have a lot of corporals, they need to be promoted to sergeants. You have a lot of sergeants who need to be promoted to inspectors, inspectors to ASP, ASP to superintendents, and because you already sought out the assistant commissioner of police positions, you have already done that, and the deputy and so on, you have done that. But you need to see more done where it comes to the superintendents, because there's a need for more superintendents of police. There's a need for more ASPs, right? And inspectors of police, and we can go all the way down. In fact, there's a need for about what, 4, 5, 6, 7 superintendent of police. There's a need for about 12, 13, 14, 15 ASPs. It might be even more, right? Maybe 20 something. It might be, and then inspectors, there might be, because as long as you go down the rank, there's a need for more. You need to see that happening, because you go to some of the police stations and who is in charge is some junior officer, right? You need to see that happening in the police force and in those ministries. That's a very factual thing Judy's saying. You go to some of those ministries and you see what's going down. It's like the NNP still running the show. So some of those ministers, they need to take charge and start making the changes that are necessary within those ministries and different departments. I fully agree with what Judy said.
Teachers, 13 years, 15 years, 18 years, 10 years, all those things started under NNP. And what starts under NNP must put an end under NDC. So we call for our teachers and nurses and other officers to be regularized. Too many acting principals make our principals prominent. They are acting for too long. Regularize their status. We're not filming any movies in Grenada, but everybody acting.
Yes.
Give the principals the lot.
Yes, so that's just the first part of that. It's a number of things there, but again, you have to give Jude what is his. He really and truly expressed what the workers, how the workers feel, and he was really the highlight of the whole May Day celebration, and the workers were really jubilant.
When pension was restored by the High Court, NNP wanted to appeal the judgment and take it away. Citizens of Grenada carry on diplomatic, teachers and workers. I want us to see how good God is. The same ordinary little man, the NNP cried down, Mark and said he cannot rule Grenada. NDC can't pay pension. This is the same ordinary little man, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, who restored the dignity of teachers and public officers and paid the pension and gratuity. Honorable Deacon Mitchell and his NDC administration did in the first 9 months in office what NNP could not do for 40 years of their reign in Grenada. What is even worse, NNP had all the money stored up in the treasury, while workers and Grenadians were going hungry and even in poverty. But you know what? There is an old saying, fools make money and wise men spend it. Honorable Deacon Mitchell, over $75 million in retroactive payments of pension, and honor the commitment to pay teachers and public officers the pension going forward. Come on, put your hands together. Make some noise. The Honorable Deacon Mitchell is so kind-hearted that some NNP ministers of government who are against teachers and public officers getting their pension and wanted to appeal the judgment and said that the NDC couldn't pay. The same NDC had to rescue the Honorable Pamela Moses by paying her the same pension teachers fought for, and they didn't want to pay. And other ministers to pay the debt and to take care of their families. What goes around comes around. The dark salary, and they took it arbitrarily. GMT instituted work to rule to get our salaries back. No sports, no extracurricular activities, no primary school athletic games for 4 years, no intercal games. The same NNP administration who claimed that they love the nation's children and young people so much, they stood by because of their pride and stubbornness for 4 years and watched the nation's children suffer in sports and education. Their house became hardened and they never paid back the dark salary. Look at the difference. The Honorable Deacon Mitchell and the NDC administration in the first month of assuming office paid back the dark salary to teachers. So tell me, who really love teachers, workers, and nation's children?
Yes, so So again, that was Jude Bartholomew there, the president of the GUT, the Grenada Union of Teachers. And look, he's just honest, he's just real, and I really love the way he put it down. The guy was just being real, telling it as is, telling it as is. Uh, and look, he has been very balanced, very, very balanced. He's calling for a number of things. He spoke about contract workers, making them permanent. Those who are acting in different positions, make them permanent. He spoke about workers who have been working for a long time and they're still to be regularized and brought up to the level that it's supposed to be. Look, he really expressed the way the workers are feeling, and he was just fair. He gave credit where credit should be given, and I hope the government, and I believe they listen and they would act on the areas that he called out that they need to act on, because he's doing so in good faith. He's doing so in good faith. I hope the government would also look at the cane co-workers. I observe them putting their placards out. I hope they can intervene for them. But the minimum wage should take care of their salaries, but it seems as though something is not right there with them. And also the nutmeg, the GCNA workers, those in the nutmeg pool and so on. I hope they can look at that too. I know the minimum wage adjustment would take care of them, but other conditions and other things like that, I hope that could be looked at. And there was another group of workers that I saw. All right, there was another group of workers, the cooks and the cleaners and so on in the schools, the cooks and cleaners and the security in some schools. I hope they can take care of them too and look at improving what they get and the conditions and everything like that. We are extremely, extremely happy with what we are seeing. The government is really bending over backwards to make sure that workers are in a better position. Everything will not happen overnight. I say again, everything will not happen overnight. All right? Everything will not happen overnight. So please bear that in mind. So, again, by and large, the workers are extremely happy. Our dear Prime Minister, he was out there with the working people. He stopped by nearly everywhere. No, I'm just trying to get at here. I was actually at Paradise Junction there, and he stopped by. And really mix and mingle with the people who were there on that block, and that was really good, really, really, really good. And I must commend him for that. The feedback was really, really positive, very, very positive, I must say, from the folks on the block. They were surprised, right? They were surprised that he stopped by. Those guys were doing an oil down. We were having a ball of a time there, and Kem Jones, how I do it. He stopped by there, and that was really good. That was commendable. I want to applaud the Prime Minister for that. Keep it going. The people were really, really happy to see that. All right, take a bow. That was really, really commendable. Also, the Prime Minister passed by. The GUT, they had a nice little dance and fair, as you would call it. And even me too, I went and I shake a leg. And it was real, real love. Just love from everyone who was actually there. Let me give you a little piece of that. Yeah, so folks, that could never be Keith Mitchell. You know, thank God for liberating this nation, eh? That was our Prime Minister, our beloved Prime Minister, just stopping on by and mixing and mingling. Everybody wants a little piece of him and pity and everything like that. It was just love, love, and more love. Folks, I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day. Take good care. I'll be back with you tonight in the hub, starting from 8 in the PM. Bye for now. Bye for now. We have to pull the curtain down at this point in time. All right? Nice. Very important.
The proceeding was a paid program. The views expressed on this program are those of the host and